Hello and welcome to Wind Wolves Preserve here in, I guess, Central California. We're about 2 hours north of LA, and it is so gorgeous out here. It's just huge prairie land in the middle of the California hills, and it's beautiful. Today's original hike that I had planned was Reflection Pond, which is about a 2-mile out and back hike, but the road up to the trailhead is currently closed. I'm gonna guess for park maintenance. So you can still hike the park, but you have to park about 3 miles away from the trailhead I wanted to start. So due to time constraints on my day, I may not be able to do the whole thing, but I am headed in that direction. But it seems unlikely I'm gonna make it because I keep stopping. But we're gonna hike in towards it and see what we find along the way. It's a beautiful park. This is a gorgeous place to be. And I am excited for today. I really am. All right, friends, we found another one right here, side of the trail. And I think that's gonna be a theme on today, honestly, while I'm talking about it, is side of the trail. This is prairie land, lots of wildflowers around here, lots of natural growth, and it's all really very delicate, especially right now in the spring when it's all starting to come up. This place should right now probably be covered in wildflowers, and it's not, but I've got this little bud here of this, I think it's a yerba manza yerba, something like that flower. Really pretty little bud. But I'm trying to stay on the trail. I don't want to wander off far. I don't want to wander off at all if I can help it. There's no need here. Let's just kind of preserve this park and let it grow and let it flourish. So I'm going to do as little as I can to disturb anything and just let it be. But I've got this beautiful little bud right here, and this is just a quintessential spring shot. I've got a couple of blades of grass coming up directly in front of my lens, which are helping give that little kind of a fuzzy ethereal look. I've got another stem of a bud coming up on the right-hand side, which is going completely out of focus and soft, and I'm focused in tight on this little bud with this leaf directly behind it. It's resting up against the leaf behind it. Shooting at an ISO 100, f5.6, 320th of a second, shooting on my 70 to 200 millimeter lens at 200 millimeters with my close-up filter on there, really just kind of filling a lot of that frame with that bud. That's the shot. I'll show you here what we are looking at. Darken her down a little bit. Here's my little bud right here. You can see it. It's just a cute little guy. It's my finger in front of it. Tiny little bud. And I got the great leaf, got the edge of this leaf, which is catching just a little bit of light, was catching a little bit of light just a second ago before the sun disappeared behind yet another cloud. But that sunlight caught that edge. Everything else except for the bud itself is just soft and out of focus and green. So it just screams spring to me. And that's why I decided to stop and grab this shot. I'm very excited today. Very excited for all of this. It's great. I'm loving it. Thanks, little buddy plant. Yerba minor pally wally. These are bold words. This is a big proclamation. I may have just captured my favorite shot of the year so far. And it's ridiculously simple. There's a puddle in the middle of this trail, mud-filled puddle, really dark water. I have this really brightly colored leaf. I think it's maybe a California oak. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look that up. And another leaf over here that is just draped itself over a stick. So it's popping up out of the water ever so slightly, completely brown and decayed with all that great pattern and texture. Same with this golden leaf underneath this dark water. And that's the shot, and simple, straightforward shot. I'll show you here what it looks like on the back of the camera. Here's my beautiful golden leaf right here, so you can see it. Just has those great veining and pattern and texture, this fantastic serrated edge of it with a little bit of dapple of the brown. And I got this great decaying leaf over here that's just propped up with that stick. So it's breaking the surface of the water, getting a great outline of the reflected sky above. One of the things I am doing is I'm standing out over my camera to stop the majority of that reflection, let most of that water go completely black, except for those edges around that leaf where it's breaking the surface. And this is adding a little contrast and accentuating that decayed leaf in there as in a juxtaposition to this freshly fallen leaf of gold in this dark, dark watered pond. It's really pretty. I love this shot. The technical side of this shot, for all of you who are interested in knowing, is ISO 100 f11 1/15 of a second. No polarizer on here, no need for it. There's nothing going on. Like I said, I'm standing up over the top of my camera, completely shading this little puddle. It's not very big, and just take that shot. I really love this. This might be my favorite so far this year. Always be prepared for disappointment. Oh, what a great find. Holy smokes, this place just keeps on giving. It's amazing. I've completely given up on my original trail hike. I'm probably not even gonna make it to the trailhead, let alone along that trail I had originally planned. I found another shot. There's a beautiful flower here. I don't know the name of this flower, and the really embarrassing thing is I just looked at a sign like an hour ago telling me what this was, and I've already forgotten. But I'll look it up and I'll put the name right here. Huge trumpeting looking flower, white, slight bit of purple on the edges, big old stamen coming right up at me out of here, and that's this shot, just shooting right down the throat of this flower, showing those stamen coming at me and just letting the cone shape come up and out and dewdrops all over it, overexposing this slightly, filling the frame with all of the white, focus on those stamen just to kind of give a little central focal point. Shooting at ISO 100 f20 1/20th of a second, 2-second timer. The trick here is just kind of waiting for this wind to die down and grab this shot. This shot's really, really fun. Let me show you here what we are looking at. All right, here you can see the shot, really, really simple. Just got the flower, looking right down the middle of it. Looking right at it, see it kind of trumpeting it out and blooming towards us, almost literally. And that's the shot. Like I said, ISO 100 f20 1/20th of a second. When you look at this tree, there's no way I don't stop at this guy. I've got 2 shots I want to get on this tree already. Got a tiny, tiny, tiny little cottonwood tree, cotton leaf tree, cotton tree leaf that has fallen, turning yellow, sitting here on the bark. Got all this great lichen and moss, green and yellow. It's just peppering this weathered, gnarled tree trunk as it's fallen over here across this path. And then walking right through here, the bottom of my frame are a bunch of little ants, red and black ants. I'm not sure what they are, but they were great. So I want to try to get set up on this little scene. Maybe I get some ants, maybe I don't. I'm gonna get that in tight, close. And then I've got this great knob right here that I want to get in tight and close and focus stack. This one I think for sure, like 1,000,000 images to get this one deep. This one just looks like undersea coral, and I really just kind of want to capture that knotted feel and texture and color of this guy. So I'm gonna get set up on these 2 shots, and then I'll show you what we're doing. So I'm set up on my little ant shot here, and I'm just waiting for the ants to come by. I decided I really like the ants, so they've become the priority, which is dictating a lot of things that I've got set up on the camera. So I'm shooting at an ISO 1600, which is way higher than I would normally shoot, but I want to get my shutter speed way up there because I want to freeze the action of these ants, and they are scurrying. They got work to do. They're busy. They're not going to sit around and wait for a portrait. I'll show you here what we're looking at. All right, here you can see this teeny tiny little cotton tree leaf. I don't know why I can't say that. Sitting right there. And then I've got all this great color and moss and lichen all over this tree branch. And then you can see right through here is where all of these ants are coming. See, of course, nobody's coming while I'm shooting a video. Here comes a bunch of them. And they're ants, so they follow the same trail almost always. They come right through there. I might hang out and wait and see if I can get one of these guys sitting on a leaf, or move on over here to my little gnarled knob. Either way, this is a great way to spend the day. All right, after messing about with this composition for way too long, I tried wide angle, in close, telephoto, uptight, telephoto, uptight with, in tight with close up filter. That's what I landed on. I think it just kind of it tells more of the character of this knot sticking out of this tree. It was clearly once it was a branch that's just snapped off, but it's just got all these great little cone shapes and cylinder shapes jutting out at you. A little bit of texture in the top of what was a branch at one point as well, and then just covered in this green and yellow lichen. It's a really fun shot. Shooting this at an ISO 100 f9 1/30th of a second, and this is a focus stack. Lots of detail, lots going on. I kind of want to get it all sharp. Letting the camera do the bracketing, the focus bracketing, so it takes one shot, incremental focus increase, shot. Shooting at about I'm shooting about 15 frames on this, just because there's so many little pockets and nubbins and crevices. And I'll show you here what we are looking at. There we go. So this is our scene, or a little squash top and bottom, a little wider left and right in our video frame, obviously, but you can look at all of this just cool detail in this guy, and then just got the added bonus of having that lichen and moss kind of growing in and among it, the greens and the yellows. It's just so much character in that little fellow, so much fun pattern and texture. Again, that's what this one's about, that pattern and that texture, which again I think is why I ended up going with the focus stack. I want more of that texture in this shot. So fingers crossed that came out and we got that one. All right, friends, I think we're gonna call it a day. It has been a beautiful day. This park is incredible. I'm so glad I found it. So glad that I came out here. This place has just been truly restorative today. The sights and the sounds and the smells of this park are restorative, and it is amazing. So happy that I got out here today. The day did not go according to plan, but that's no big surprise. My days never do go according to plan. But it was amazing nonetheless. I found some great images, I think, and I had a great time, and I want to thank you for coming along with me. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more, and tell your friends, because the more the merrier. And if you'd like to see some more of my work, please head on over to toddhphoto.com. There you can see all the images I've been taking throughout the years. And if you'd like to support me further, I've got 3 ways you can do that. You can donate, you can purchase a download from my blog for $1, or you can purchase a print from my fine art gallery print. There's just a selection of some of my personal favorites offered up as fine art giclée prints. And I would love it if while you were there, you signed up for my mailing list. There I just give advance access to my blog posts. Email that blog out 1 week early, and if you are a member of the mailing list, you get a free download of the featured image for 1 week before it goes up for sale on that shop site. So I want to thank you for your support and for your time and for coming along with me. And from the Wind Wolves Preserve here in middle-ish California, so long, and we'll see you next time.